are 3 minutes away from Heat 1B of the Atomic Cup, and we've got 6 boats out on the course. So let's run through who will be in Heat 1B. Steve?
J.W. Myers gets a new ride. He's driving for the USA Racing Partners out of Las Vegas, and a former Miss Budweiser racing here as Solutions Plus, the U10.
The U100, Greg Hopp, Todd Haas, American Dream. Greg has a long history of unlimited hydroplane racing, and along with his dad in unlimited lights and the new G-boat class as well.
Team manager of the very hot new Formula Boats team is Mike Weber out of Dawsonville, Georgia, driving formulaboats.com, the U5, the all-red boat. It'll look like a Budweiser on camera.
U2.25, Dr. Ken Muscatel, the world's fastest forensic psychologist. His boat is sponsored by the Graham Trucking folks.
And you'll see the very familiar red, white, and green paint job aboard Madison, Indiana's Oh Boy Oberto, and the popular driver Steve David out of Lighthouse Point, Florida.
And our 6th boat on the race course will be Jean Theoret in the U37 Beacon Plumbing. Lots of yellow and lots of red on that boat as well, Steve. As the boats start to head down to this Blue Bridge end of the turn, we're still a minute and a half plus away from getting ready for this start. So they're down there starting to score up already.
We've seen some very interesting milling as Jean Theoret in one of the 2 yellow boats. His boat is a brighter yellow with a little bit of red on it. That's the Beacon Plumbing boat. The other one that is a darker yellow and all yellow is Solutions Plus. That's the boat out of Las Vegas, driven by J.W. Myers. But Theoret was all over the river. He made a big wide sweep and came way outside of the outer marker, then drove across the bow of a couple of boats to get back to the inside. So we had some interesting scoring up going on. Now the 1 minute mark is approaching, and we're way out of shape, Mark. We got some boats that need to get lined up here on the backstretch.
We're looking at J.W. Myers. You saw him just cut through the infield, and now he's streaking down the front straightaway, looking at some of the boats going very slow on the backstretch. Jean Theoret, he's followed by the U100. We're now looking at Mike Weber in the U5 formulaboats.com as he pulls up as well, and he's going to be pulling up on side the Oh Boy Oberto. You'll see him in the picture in just a second. And here comes J.W. Myers. He's made his way all the way around. We'll see who gets that inside lane. It's going to be a little bit crowded right now as they come to the entrance pin of that top turn.
Right now, Greg Hopp has his blue boat in lane 1 if nobody gets inside him. Theoret wanted lane 1 so badly he was way up way early, had to slow down, and may have been crowded out of there. It appears that Hopp is going to have control now in the U100 in lane 1. You see Mike Weber swinging wide in that bright red Formula Boats and the rest of the field in between. It's going to be a beautiful sight now as 5 boats are lined up side by side. Theoret is charging in the middle as we count it down. 2, 1, 0, a legal start. Greg Hopp, the leader at the start of Heat 1B.
Greg Hopp first across the line. Jean Theoret is second across the line as the boats head down into that Blue Bridge turn, and J.W. Myers got caught, and he is way back in the field. But it's Jean Theoret as they hit that first turn, Steve, and on the inside is Greg Hopp. But Jean Theoret looks like he's got the lead as they come off the turn.
Theoret in the Beacon Plumbing just drives around the blue boat. That's a great riding again. A former Miss Budweiser. It was changed a couple of years ago to its current configuration. We got a great race back in second place between Hopp on the inside in the blue boat and Steve David, who has the Oh Boy Oberto running beautifully. It's actually David right now in second place, but they're going to be neck and neck as they chase Theoret.
1, 2, and 3, and they're all into the turn at this point. Theoret with a full rooster tail lead. We watch him come through the turn. Very close behind him now on the outside of him is the Oh Boy Oberto, and on the inside of his rooster tail is Greg Hopp. Oberto gets a great turn, and on the outside of them as they come by is Mike Weber in the formulaboats.com, and he has taken over third place as they come to the end of lap number 1.
We could not see Mike Weber in the red boat on the backstretch. He was behind the rooster tails. He was actually right up in that fray, but look at Theoret. That yellow boat that won the Gold Cup very recently for new owner Billy Shoemaker is a yellow rocket on the straightaways, and he is leaving them behind. Jean Theoret, the French-Canadian Rookie of the Year last year in 2005, is our leader here in Heat 1B. Steve David now has settled into second place in the Oh Boy Oberto, and Mark, that's as good as that old boat's looked for a long time.
That is an old boat. 1988 it was built, but it is running hot, and Jean Theoret walking the boat back sponson to sponson, and now we'll go back to second place. That's the Oh Boy Oberto. Third place is the formulaboats.com. And we'll look at Greg Hopp coming through in fourth place. But Jean Theoret at the top of the turn on the west end of the race course has this race well in hand. And Steve David now in second place. But here comes Jean Theoret down the front straightaway, Steve, to end lap number 2.
End of lap 2 for Theoret. He gets a white flag, 1 lap to go, and he has about a 3 rooster tail lead over Steve David in that red, white, and green Oh Boy Oberto. And then it's back about 1.5 rooster tails to Mike Weber in the formulaboats.com. Greg Hopp has settled into fourth place in the blue boat, but he is on the inside, and he may be able to reel in the red boat running way out in lane 4.
Theoret's got that boat up a little bit as he goes through the rough water in that Blue Bridge turn. You saw the sponsons come up just a little bit, but safely off the turn, and now streaking up the backstretch on his third of 3 times around here in Heat 1B. Jean Theoret leading the field now by several rooster tails. The race well in hand for him.
You're looking at a race boat doing almost 200 miles per hour up the Pasco side. This boat lost its cowling and wing in the final heat of the Gold Cup. At that point, the ride generally goes away. Theoret just put the hammer down, drove it like the Grand Prix boats that he grew up in, and won the Gold Cup impressively in part of a race boat. And now, Mark, here he comes to take the checkered flag. Jean Theoret will win Heat 1B at the Atomic Cup.
There he goes across the start-finish line. Jean Theoret, the U-37 Beacon Plumbing, the winner of Heat 1B. Right behind him is Steve David in the Oh Boy Oberto. Second place for Heat 1B. Now it's going to be a ways back, and we've got quite a race. Greg Hopp on the inside. Mike Weber pulls him off the corner, but they're almost dead even. It will be Mike Weber by about 2 boat lengths as they cross the finish line. Mike Weber in third, Greg Hopp in fourth, and there comes J.W. Myers in fifth place across the line.
So that's the way they will finish. Score 400 points for Jean Theoret, the very, very lead-footed French-Canadian driving for new owner Billy Shoemaker. There's a name that you veteran hydro fans will know well. The boat is now the U-37. It used to be Bill Worster's Lumar window film. It's now the Beacon Plumbing, winner of the Gold Cup and winner of Heat 1B here. So give them 400 points, and we'll run the scoring down for you after we go down to the pit area and Scott Reister to get a word with that crew and driver.
All right, here was Jean Theoret, just took Heat 1B. I know you had a lot of damage in Detroit winning that Gold Cup, but I guess things worked themselves out today, huh?
Yeah, the team worked real hard, all week before this event here, and thank God we won this race again, and the Beacon Plumbing boats are going good. The water was pretty rough, especially in the first corner, but we got a good start, and that was it right there.
A lot of boats here. I know there were 7 in the first heat, 6 in this heat. What did you think of the competition and kind of being out there on a crowded race course?
Well, it's exciting, it gives you a prelude to the final, because the final is going to be a 6-boat final. So it's always good to have all these boats there and put on a good show for the fans.
Is this shaping up to be a Dave Villwalk, Jean Theoret showdown, or is it too early to say that?
I think it's too early. There's plenty of good boats out there, and I'd say there's at least 4 or 5 good boats that can win this race here, so we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, Jean Theoret just took Heat 1B. We'll see what he does the rest of the way. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Scott. A great start to the weekend, the Atomic Cup. And Steve, let's run down the finish order.
Theoret picks up 400 points for that first place win. A great start for his weekend. And Steve David, the Oh Boy Oberto, an impressive second place and 300 points. Third place went to Mike Weber in the formulaboats.com, 225 points. Then it's 169 for Greg Hopp in fourth place. Had the inside and the lead at the start, but just couldn't hang on to it. J.W. Myers in the Solutions Plus, we'll see more out of that yellow boat. Picked up 127 points. And the doctor, Ken Muscatel, 95 points, running 6th in Heat 1B. And that's the way they finished here in Heat 1B of the Atomic Cup.
Well, we did find out later that Jean Theoret had a fuel violation. Not just a violation, Steve, but a flagrant fuel violation. So the points that he thought he got for 400 first place points, he didn't get. He didn't get any points, and Steve David was the winner of